Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the episode 8 of the official, unofficial podcast. I am your host, MrGamingGuitarist, alongside the person that's here in person, Mo.
What's good? I'm back.
And Edward is here. Now, Max was with us before we started recording, but he recently just got news of a termite problem.
And we say recently, we mean like a minute ago.
Yep.
Like he just said, "Oh shit, there's termites. I gotta go." So we don't know what his status is right now. But if he comes back, we'll, he'll be. So we don't know if he's gonna be back or not. But we'll see. We'll see. So, anyways, first thing that we have to talk about today is.
Oh my god! Okay. Just to say, little American Psycho reference. You want to get out of a conversation? Just say, "Excuse me, I gotta go. I have to return some videotapes. I'm gonna have some late fees if I don't return some videotape. I gotta go." Zach talking like out of nowhere with the termites. I was
wait. Did you say Zach? You mean Max?
Max, Zach. Max, Zach. Yeah, okay. But just like, dude, that was so random when he did that. Man, that was weird. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the topics.
Alright, so first up, finally Fox has given some release dates for their upcoming slate of X-Men movies for 2018, next year. So, let's see here. Let me open up my link and make sure this fucking video doesn't play while I open it. Mute that shit. Okay. Alright, so New Mutants will be opening on April 13th, 2018. Deadpool 2 will be on June 1st, 2018. And X-Men Dark Phoenix will be November 2nd, 2018. And the most interesting thing that pops up to me here is November 2nd. I don't even know if any X-Men movie ever opened during the fall. That feels like a franchise first for me. But also, Deadpool opened up in February because it's like, if it was in a busy season, no one knew if you would see it. But now that Deadpool's proven to be a success, Deadpool can be in the summer and be a force to be reckoned with.
They were marketing it as a Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
romantic comedy. Take your girlfriend
because they were airing commercials for it during the Bachelorette. Yeah, and then New Mutants, which I know nothing about. I know it's a comic about New Mutants that started in the 90s. That is going to be April 13th.
Does one of your TV shows have New Mutants in it that you watch? No? Okay. I guess when you were talking when you were talking about New Mutants before, you were talking about this then. Okay. And Dark Phoenix,
which will be the sequel to Apocalypse, which means now that they're actually dedicating an entire movie to it, this time they can treat the story correctly, unlike that bullshit that they did in The Last Stand. Okay.
I kind of want to... I don't know if we've really talked about this. Why was X-Men Apocalypse, why was that so shitty? And why was Days of Future Past so good?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
The thing is, I could tell you what I didn't like about X-Men Apocalypse. I could tell you what I don't like about that, and I could tell you what I did like about Days of Future Past. Now, it's really what I'm getting at, like, the production, how they made the, some people that were making it, it's like you just have if you could just compare and contrast
Ah,
the
okay, well, X-Men Apocalypse and Days of Future Past were both written by Simon Kinberg, and they were both directed by Bryan Singer, and they had all the same producers. So they just must have
I don't know, maybe,
fucked up.
okay, Bryan Singer, he did the Last Stand.
No, no.
Who,
Okay, all right.
he did the first two, but
Yes,
not the third.
he did the first two. The third movie was directed by Brett Ratner, who directed the Rush Hour movies.
Okay. I gotta say, considering the pretty much the same people that brought you Days of Future Past brought you Apocalypse, that's really surprising and disappointing. That movie was some weak sauce stuff, man. I mean, it just looked like
Did you see Apocalypse?
X-Men Apocalypse, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like they were just trying to cram in as many characters as they could, and like the addition of Jubilee in there,
Who we only saw for 5 fucking seconds because a lot of her scenes got cut out. Because there was supposed to be a big scene where you got to see Jean and Nightcrawler and
they were at a
Scott
mall.
and yeah. That was a big thing. Like there were behind the scenes Instagram pictures of them of like you saw a vinyl record of the Dazzler in there, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. We never got to see it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the editor's fault why the movie sucked. I don't know.
Is the editor different?
But then again, I think Apocalypse wasn't implemented very well at all in the movie. And he said that this is supposed to be some big giant disaster film. What disaster? Only one city got fucked up.
No, actually, in Apocalypse,
I don't remember. See, this is how much I didn't enjoy it. I don't even care to remember the full details.
Apocalypse was like changing the entire planet. Like after he came into contact with Cerebro, he like stole those powers. Which I don't really buy this whole thing of Apocalypse can just steal everybody's powers like freaking. I'm trying to think of that show from the 2000s, Heroes. Yep. The Petrellis, they could like steal people's powers and shit. I'm trying to think like kind of like Sylar too on that show.
Okay.
But it's just the idea of Apocalypse just stealing other people's powers. It's like I don't know, it just didn't really fit with what I thought Apocalypse was or could do. The thing is, he has like a bunch of powers, and I'm really not sure what his mutant powers are, other than he's very, very old and he came into contact with celestial technology, and that's why he's like immortal. That's what's going on with him, and he can get large and shrink, and that's something you didn't really see in that, other than when Charles was having I don't know, like a mental fight with Apocalypse. That's the only time you saw Apocalypse get giant size.
Yeah,
he's like crushing him and shit. But okay, coming from somebody who used to watch a lot of Attack of the Show, Olivia Munn being cast in that,
it was so weird. It just felt so weird to me.
Okay, she went from being dressed like whatever when she was working with as Caliban's like bodyguard or something in East Germany, to Apocalypse like adopts her, and then all of a sudden her clothes are totally different. It just looked like some cosplay attempt. Nothing looked natural, like the way they just put these characters in there. It looked like, dare I say, Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
You know, some people think
Like,
that we're gonna see Psylocke again in the X-Force movie whenever that comes out, which will probably be in 2019. Anyways, we're talking too much about Apocalypse and not these
oh yeah,
other
okay,
movies. So,
okay.
so we're gonna get the Dark Phoenix movie.
Apocalypse. That movie was just way too shallow.
But I think we already said that several times before. Okay, all right, we got to move on. So we've got Dark Phoenix coming, which is going to be interesting to see how they handle it because I really liked Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. She was one of the good things about the Apocalypse movie. So we'll get to see more of her. I just really want to see the dynamic between her and Cyclops because we got to see a hint of it. But but Cyclops throughout this entire film franchise has been getting fucked over so much. He never got time to shine. So let's hope this movie we can get time for both Jean Grey and Cyclops to shine. Because they always dismissed him in the movies when I always thought that was unfair because he's supposed to be this big leader, this big figure in the comics, and you don't see that at all in the movies. So I hope that we get they've learned. I hope that they learn their lesson in Apocalypse. Let's just put it that way. From Apocalypse. And
Actually, Cyclops kind of has a bad reputation. As like as a leader, he has made like some dick moves. Like even in the first episode of X-Men animated series, it was his choice to leave Morph behind, who was like this shapeshifter who was part of the team, and I think Wolverine ended up like punching him in the gut over that. Like when they got back to the manor, it's like you fucking left Morph behind.
Okay.
That was the only person around here who could make me laugh. But also he's had affairs with other women. He's cheated on Jean and stuff. Just stuff like that.
See, we never see that. Whereas in the movies, he's always seen as just some fucking pusher. Which whatever. Yeah, that's how he's treated in the movies. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So then,
the more I hear about Cyclops, the less I like him. Apparently. So
I don't know. Well, I've never had an opinion on Cyclops because we barely get to see him at all because I only watch the movies. But anyways, so then we've got Deadpool 2. All right. Well, Mo, do you know anything about the Dark Phoenix?
Don't know.
Okay, the Dark Phoenix. From the very little knowledge that I know, the Dark Phoenix is this thing, like this thing from space or whatever that possesses Jean Grey, and Jean Grey turns evil, and
okay,
that's all I know.
Let's take the dark off of it. Okay.
Okay.
She's possessed by okay, the Phoenix is a cosmic.
That's what I meant to say.
Cosmic entity, spirit of, I don't know where it comes from. It's supposed to be an actual guardian of the galaxy that's really, really old. Okay. Mm-hmm. Something that it's the Phoenix is supposed to be good, and it connected with her because of her mutant power for telepathy and telekinesis, and the thing is, when we say possess her, I mean it can possess her and do great things, or it could possess her and do evil things. And Jean, when she's under the possession of the Phoenix, when that personality comes out, the Phoenix is vulnerable to emotions much more than Jean would be. So if the forces of evil are playing mind games with the Phoenix, just with the Phoenix being under the surface, they could trigger her to just lash out and just turn bad.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Phoenix is unstable, but also unstable to be influenced by evil.
Okay.
That
Okay. Well, so then, all right. So we've been talking a lot about Dark Phoenix. Well, we've got Deadpool 2 coming June 1st. Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You saw that Deadpool 2 trailer, right? Where he was in the
Yeah.
photo.
He was in the photo booth and then he
okay,
just left
okay.
That was
Yeah.
freaking funny.
Can I just say another thing about the Dark Phoenix? In the Dark Phoenix saga in the animated series, Jean kind of gets kidnapped by there's like some group of mutants. They're kind of like aristocrats. I forgot what they're called. They're called like the Inner Circle or something like that. Funny though, in the animated series, their leader was Sebastian Shaw, but he got killed in
Sebastian Shaw. That name sounds very familiar, but I can't.
Sebastian Shaw was the main villain in that first X-Men movie in like the reboot they've
Oh wait, is that who Kevin
Kevin
Bacon was?
Bacon.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Okay, and but White Queen is probably going to be in this. White Queen is like the telepath that like triggers. That's probably going to trigger the Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
That's
Here's the
probably-
thing that I like about the movies. I generally don't have to know any of this shit you're telling me to enjoy them. See, like your knowledge of X-Men, the animated series, like matches my knowledge of the Flash and Arrow.
Like it's probably gonna suck. Jean is gonna like get like seduced and like kidnapped by like some group of evil mutants, and they're gonna like awaken the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is gonna be pissed, and she's gonna be like, "Fuck you, people trying to manipulate me, and I'm gonna destroy you and like this whole planet and like whatever." She's just gonna have like this big temper tantrum, and that's gonna be the threat of the Dark Phoenix. And it's like, how are they gonna quell this? Okay.
Okay.
Deadpool.
And then, yeah, so we got Deadpool 2. Well, we don't really know any details about what the hell's going to happen other than we know
Yeah, because
that...
they had a very, very short trailer.
Well, that wasn't even
Well,
enough...
it was-
that
yeah, it
wasn't...
even enough detail.
No, that
in the
wasn't even
trailer.
a trailer. That was just... Okay, the thing is, that
Yeah,
played
like a teaser or
before...
something.
That No, not even a teaser. That just opened before... that we saw that before Logan began in theaters. So when we saw that, I thought that was the beginning of Logan, and I thought,
Yeah,
oh
that's
my
what I thought
fucking
too,
god,
yeah.
is Deadpool and Logan, and they were hiding it this whole time. Oh my god! But no,
Yeah.
it was just a trailer. It was just really funny.
Oh yeah,
it
that
was
group of
hilarious.
evil mutants. They're called the Hellfire Club. I just looked them up.
Oh
That's what they're
yeah,
called.
I remember they had that. Is that like that pseudo strip club that Rose Byrne entered in First Class, where like all the women were just in fucking underwear? If you remember that, is that what that was? That's in First Class. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I believe
Okay,
so.
you know what? Maybe Sebastian Shaw was a part of the Hellfire. Because the thing is with the Hellfire
Yeah, he
Club,
was. He was.
Okay, so I think this could be going back to First Class, where it's like the remaining members of the Hellfire Club, they're trying to get revenge on Xavier for like killing Sebastian Shaw or being involved
Mm-hmm.
in him dying. You know, it's Xavier wanted to save his ass. He wanted Magneto to spare him, and you know how that ended. By
Because
the
he
end of
put the
movie.
fucking coin through his head.
Yeah, so that's a good. Yeah, Sebastian Shaw is supposed to be the leader of the Hellfire Club, and he's dead. So I think that would probably make White Queen the head of him.
Okay, and then the New Mutants movie will be April next year. I don't know what the fuck the New Mutants are.
I don't
know-
either.
It's just, hey, it's the X-Men, and I'm glad they're finally branching out instead of the core X-Men. Because here's the thing, they kept mentioning that with X-Men the movies are going to eventually start moving away from being so heavily focused on Magneto and Xavier, and that's like what the producers were saying. They say it's sad and it's exciting and terrifying at the same time because they've been so focused on the Charles and Eric thing for so long that finally they're going to start moving away from that for the main narrative, and that beginning of that new narrative away from Charles and Eric begins with Dark Phoenix. So that's what we've got to look forward to next year. Okay, next topic. Okay, so Mo, did you watch that Call of Duty World War II trailer?
I thought I had seen it somewhere, but I didn't actually get to watch
Oh,
it.
fuck, you did not...
Seen, like, side clips of it.
Oh, my God. Well, you have to watch it right now. And hey, guess what? People are going to say, don't show the audio from the trailer in your... No one watches me, so who cares if I'm not going to earn any money off of the fucking less than 10 views I'm getting from this video anyway. So anyways, here it is. Yes, this is what the actual game looks like.
Damn, the graphics look pretty good.
With the violences of war. In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Oh, snap.
Get your head down and keep moving!
We are all that separates the world from darkness. The enemy is ruthless. We cannot.
Well, shit, with
Must not fail.
Scorpio coming out later this year, it's probably going to be like Scorpio settings for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this trailer right now is being played on a Scorpio. Actually.
Dang, dude.
Oh, I heard that they're not going to have regenerating health in this game.
Yes! Yes! They are not. That's gonna be fucking good. Good. I'm sick of them sticking to the same old shit.
So how are they gonna do the health system? You're gonna be like pick up.
You're going to have to rely on the medic in your squad.
We're all about.
Oh, wow.
No mission too difficult. No sacrifice too great.
Welcome to the Bloody First. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
That's what's up. It looks. Ooh. November 3rd. Definitely gonna get that.
Yeah. What
Now,
else is it?
okay, so that was Mo's real live actual reaction. And afterwards, they did a live stream where they talked about that. So they said, they're taking Call of Duty back to its roots. And, finally, Sledgehammer, the guys developing Call of Duty World War II, they started out as they were comprised of the people that made Dead Space. Because the founders of Sledgehammer were like the leads on Dead Space, the original game, and then they formed Sledgehammer, and they helped Infinity Ward work on Modern Warfare 3 while that whole bullshit going on with Activision suing Vince Zampella and the other guy that formed Infinity Ward when that whole founders of Infinity Ward were separating. And that's when they started Respawn, and now this is when. Then Sledgehammer did Advanced Warfare, the one with Kevin Spacey, which of course I haven't touched a Call of Duty game since Black Ops in 2010, and
What the heck?
Okay, Mo, you keep talking. I'm gonna check the door.
But yeah, Jaren, yeah, he probably hasn't played, but I think I have like Black Ops 3. It's okay. It's not great, but it's good. It's doable. But I still haven't got Infinite Warfare yet. So I don't know how that game is.
Yeah, not a boots on the ground game. That's like space jumping.
Yeah, it's like more
Co-
like you jumping on walls and doing different kind of other things. Like most of the time, I guess, than you are.
Check this. I'll tell you about that live stream. Something I noticed was, well, they were definitely doing that in like the UK
cables
somewhere.
I ordered on Amazon.
Okay.
You know, to replace the fucking lightning cables. Cause see, take a look here. You see how that?
Yeah, that's ugly.
Yeah. So finally got new ones. Ugh.
What do you use the lightning cables for?
iPhones.
Okay.
I know I need one because, like, what is that? My other one, the one that I have currently, is already starting to break. Oh, so
How'd
too?
the lightning cable break?
It was like on here. It was bent.
Where the charging is?
Yeah, where that metal part is.
So like how did that happen?
It fell, or while it was the phone fell while it was plugged in, and then it bent that it bent the connector.
Connector. Okay.
So these look promising so far.
They look pretty good. They're like carpet type, so it should last.
Yeah. These cables are braided, so I hope these are good. Alright, just have to. Okay.
That's just a reminder. Next PC you get, probably ought to make sure it has USB Type C.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the future. Kind of like
C-type,
all-in-one cable that can just do everything, pretty much. I'm not even sure if the AMD boards, the new AMD motherboards that go with Ryzen, I'm not even sure if they have that. They probably do, like the X ones. There's like the B ones, and then there's the X ones. The X ones, they're
Okay, so
have more
what
features.
I was trying to say about Call of Duty is you have to rely on your medic this time for regenerative for when your health is low, and then you have to, and then it felt so easy in the new Call of Duty games where you can just find your ammo. You can just pick up any gun on the ground. Well, this time, you have to look to your squad to see if they have ammo that they're going to that they can share with you, or any extra ammo they can spare. It's things like that give it that much more realistic touch that I'm so appreciative of, because over the past few times, Call of Duty just went too far into the future, and they finally got the message. We're sick and tired of this bullshit. And I mentioned this too in my reaction video. Don't you dare fucking say, oh, well, they're just copying Battlefield. Because, no. This game is being developed by Sledgehammer. Their last game was Advanced Warfare. That game came out in 2014. They have been working on this now for 2.5 years. So, do you honestly believe 2.5 years ago, that you fucking fanboys think you're so ridiculous? You think there's someone working at fucking Sledgehammer or a Sledgehammer double agent that's all that like snuck in all because Sledgehammer's in California and Dice is in Switzerland or Sweden. It's Sweden or Switzerland, I forget where they're located. Would fly all the way over there, find out they're in the middle of developing Battlefield 1, then they're gonna fly all the way over back to fucking Sledgehammer and say, hey guys, Dice is making a fucking World War I game. Shit,
Hey,
we need to make a World War II game.
Oh, wait. Why would they fly if they could just do a Skype call?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even... Whatever.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say. No, that shit wouldn't be happening. Or else there would be some serious breaches of confidentiality with keeping game development a secret, And that, the people would be sued if in real life, would get the shit sued out of them if that were to actually happen.
Okay, look. When you have two franchises that are so directly competing with one another, like Battlefield and Call of Duty, there is so much money at stake.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to tip their opponent's hand towards them in various ways. So if they have an opportunity to get a tip on what the hell they're working on, it's like the Cold War. It's like that. There's spying going on. There's tricks. There's stuff that's just totally unbeknownst to us. We could never really know or understand. There's always like disgruntled employees that are like leaving a company and then they're just gonna like blab to the competition. Oh, those fucking assholes, they're doing this. And I'm telling you this because they fucking pissed me off. So, you go get them. I'll tell them. But just...
Yeah, well... Let's just say Battlefield 1 and this game were in development at around the same times. That's what it feels like. So, to me, this just a sign that, hey, I'm glad... See, it's like the pendulum was sticking the other way, because 15 years ago, we were so fucking sick of World War II games on the PS2 and the Xbox, And then, so when we got modern war games, this is what we're going to be from now on. But it's going to be so weird because, there's an entire generation of kids now that, that are younger than me and Mo that don't even know, that have probably never even touched a World War II game before. And so when they play that and there is no regenerating health and there is no wall running, there is no fucking jetpacks, it's like, it's going to be interesting to see what the response is. And I'm going to want to smack the shit out of them if they're going to say, oh, well, it's just a bunch of, this is stupid. This is too hard. Wah. Well, fuck you, kids. This is harkening back to what we grew up with, motherfuckers. And I'm going to enjoy it. Because finally, they're making a Call of Duty game that I'm actually willing to care about. So yeah, needless to say, I'm excited for Call of Duty this year, which I never thought in a million if you told me 1 or 2 years ago I'd be saying this, I never believed myself.
All right, Call of Duty, that game series is known for perks. Creating loadouts, custom loadouts.
That all started with Modern Warfare, I believe. So
yes.
I don't know how they're going to apply that to a multiplayer setting in World War II.
Look, if there's no way they're going to get rid of perks. There's got to be some kind of perk system.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking.
And I'm not a multiplayer guy, so none of this means anything to me. So
there has to be like perks that would somehow mitigate like your health going down and not going up. There has to be something about that. It's always interesting. Like looking at Call of Duty games, what are the most dominant perks? Because for a long time it was always like stopping power, because it was the difference between killing somebody in 3 bullets or 2 bullets most of the time.
Uh-huh.
And then, if you were to get rid of stopping power, then you would, you'd have like either Juggernog.
What the heck?
What?
You were frozen for
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
Could you still hear me?
No,
No.
but now you're back.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I don't know. I was just talking about perks. I was talking about,
Mhm.
well,
Well, is this something that you're going to want to play?
probably not, because all the COD games on PC don't work that well. And they never get discounted properly. So probably
Well,
not.
I heard the port for Advanced Warfare was good. It's just, well, from what I've heard, it's the Infinity Ward games that get the shitty or not optimized well for PC. But I heard the ones from Treyarch and Sledgehammer were pretty good. So, okay, that's just from what I've seen. Well, anyways, so yeah, do you have any thoughts to add on Call of Duty World War II?
No, like if I ever do get a chance to play, I'm just gonna wait till it goes down, because I mean, to me, it's not really certain much of an interest. Because I haven't even played Infinity War yet.
Trust me, you don't have to play any of these.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's worth the time right now. I would just wait. I mean, as far as World War II.
Look,
Well,
Nintendo games get better price drops compared to Call of Duty games on Steam.
mhm.
Okay.
And Nintendo games never go down in price.
And until they release them as, specific, like Nintendo selects, then they're $20 all of a sudden. But yeah, some game would have to be like a big freaking turkey for them for a game to be selling for, $15-20 without it being like a greatest hits on Nintendo. Like, see, I liked Zombie U, but that game was kind of a turkey. It wasn't that long. It was pretty frustrating playing that game.
And it was a launch title.
And it was a launch title, and it kind of ran like shit. It didn't look good. It looked
And
like...
it got re-released on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, ironically, I think it's still better on Wii U because they cut out any sort of online...
okay.
Because, see, like, if you died in Zombie U, you had a chance to recover your own body and, like, get your stuff back.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm sure you could do it on, like the PS4 version, but you can't find the bodies of, like, other players that have died and they couldn't recover their shit.
Okay.
Dude, I playing Zombie U, the best feeling in that game is when you found another survivor who died, and then you, like, kill them and you take their stuff, and all of a sudden you got, like, 16 freaking crossbow bolts or, like, tons of carbine ammo. That was like so awesome. Not being able to get those rewards, just random luck rewards, just that's a sad feeling, thinking that was like one of the best parts of that game. And if you don't get that playing it on the later versions that came to, like, current gen consoles, that sucks. Okay.
Next up here, Night Trap is getting a 25th anniversary remaster. And of course, it's not being done by the original publisher or the original developer, because I imagine they went out of business a long fucking time ago. So it's some new company, I believe Screaming Villains is developing it. And there's going to be a limited physical release done by Limited Run Games, where they also created physical copies of other indie games. But One thing I just want to point out, this was one of the games alongside Mortal Kombat back in 92 that was known for being so completely controversial and so violent that it started the ESRB. Like, Night Trap was called so violent, it was stunned parents, like, oh my god, what are our children turning into? But now, that game Night Trap, the 25th anniversary remaster, it's now rated T. How funny our standards for violence have changed over 25 years. So, yeah, so for those that don't know what Night Trap was, Edward was telling me this earlier, it's pretty much like Five Nights at Freddy's, but an FMV game. And if you're too young to know what FMV was, FMV stood for full motion video, where it pretty much looked like a shitty internet video buffering from 1996. That was what the quality was. And the video didn't fill up the full screen. It was in a tiny little square, and around it you got the UI for it. And in this game, you're switching between different security cameras, and you were setting off traps, and you could get different endings, and and of course the full game is acted in live action. That's why it was called full motion video. And you would have to trap these vampires.
Vampire ninjas.
Yeah, vampires that were dressed up like ninjas, and Dana Plato, who is like a famous actress in the 90s, I believe she was on some sort of movie or sitcom. I don't know what it was called. But she was.
I've heard that name before. I don't know who the hell she is, but I've heard that.
Okay, I just need to look here.
I bet she was like on Saved by the Bell or something. Like, I don't know.
She was She was Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes.
Okay, that was an '80s show.
Yeah.
Never watched it. Don't care. Do not care about Different Strokes.
Yeah, so she was like one of the main characters in Night Trap, and because she was supposed to be like some sort of like SWAT or FBI agent or whatever it is, like going undercover pretending to be a teenager in this fucking slumber party. And it was some of the cheesiest acting you'll ever see. But it's one of those games where when you played it, it was trying to be serious, but it's so unintentionally funny that you can't help but want to play it just to see how fucking ridiculous it gets. It's one of those types of games. So, is it going to be worth the money to play it? I'm going to assume this might be $15 or $20 when it comes out. It might be worth your time. As long as you know it's going to be some stupid, goofy fucking shit. That's my take on Night Trap.
I kind of agree with that.
But it's going to be really interesting to get that physical release, because that physical release actually looks like the Sega CD cover. Because the game came out on the Sega CD. And kids, if you don't know what the Sega CD is, there was this console called the Sega Genesis. Yes, Sega, the company that you know today for publishing Alien Isolation and all the new shitty Sonic games, except for Sonic Mania. That new one actually looks like it could be pretty good. But other than that, yes, that Sega, who also, I believe, publishes the Total War games now, they used to make video game consoles. And they did the Sega CD, which was an attachment for the...
I want to say the 32X came first, and then
the
CD.
Yeah, but then it got ridiculous because there were games that required both the 32X and the Sega CD, and by the end of it, the whole thing looked like a fucking system on life support because you stacked this shit on top and put this shit, and then you had all the wires behind it.
But yeah, your Sega Genesis needed a power slot. The CD did too, and the 32X did too. So if you had a power strip, the cable
and the plugs were that big fucking box. You couldn't put any room for them.
They were wall warts. They were wall warts, dude. They were
the giant boxes. I hate those so much.
They're called wall warts. They're terrible. It's much better when they're like on the cable somewhere away from plugging it into the wall. So
The Angry
that,
Video Game Nerd had some great episodes about them if you just want to know more about it.
Sega CD, like, just and 32X, what Sega tried doing with that, that's the reason why the Dreamcast failed, because that, and also the Dreamcast couldn't play DVDs. That was the other thing. They released it a little too soon.
The number one selling thing for the PS2 was the DVD of The Matrix when it came out.
That's so fitting. And what I was saying is, like, the whole expansions to the Sega Genesis, that just like killed people's like trust in that company.
Yeah. Okay. So Mo, you got to watch it. What do you think of Night Trap?
I mean, it looked. I mean, it was like it's okay. I mean, it's something like too good, but I mean, it does look funny. So like, if they remastered, maybe they can make it better. Hopefully,
Yeah, because
it
it's
is by another company. So I mean, again, it also depends on how the company's approaches this game here. But other than that, I mean, if it was more than that, I wouldn't get it. It's price wise because
right now we don't know what the
more than
price
30.
is, and we don't know the official release date. All it said is spring 2017.
But
So
if it's more than 60, to me personally, it's not. I don't think it's worth it.
More than what now?
More than like $60 even.
Oh, there's no way in hell
Yeah,
it's
that's what
60.
I'm
No,
saying.
it's got to be like
It's
$20
Yeah, I
or
was
less.
like, it's not worth it, man, for real. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, next up, Jeff Goldblum. He is going to be in Jurassic World 2 because lots of people were upset he wasn't in the first Jurassic World. I never saw Jurassic World,
I
so
didn't either.
Edward,
I saw Jurassic Park.
did you see Jurassic World?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That Jurassic World didn't have any actors from like. Wait, there must have been somebody. I just have this feeling there weren't any actors from the previous Jurassic Park movies. Like they just introduced totally new actors like for everything. And they just made some references to like the original movie and maybe whatever, just little callbacks to shit that happened, like 20 years ago. Like there was like a dude who like worked in like the command center for like, running the park, and he was wearing like a Jurassic Park t-shirt, and like his boss was like, "Why the hell are you wearing that? That's like so insensitive." Because to them that's like 9/11 or something. Like when the first Jurassic Park went under, that was like 9/11, and it's like a black spot just on the company. And in Jurassic World, what's weird about Jurassic World is we're living in a time in that movie where the park has been open for a number of years and it has been run successfully. And there's always people coming there, and I don't know how expensive it is, but it's probably like real expensive to go there. And people are getting bored of seeing dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you imagine that? Can you imagine just how fucking like spoiled and jaded people would have to be to like just within 20 years, kids are like, they go there and they see the dinosaurs and they're just like, I'm so bored.
Makes me want to smack the shit out of those kids.
Yeah.
I've been saying I want to smack the shit out of them a lot during this fucking podcast today.
Yeah, we just want to beat some kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
So, yeah, the premise of Jurassic World was, it's like, our guests are getting bored. We need something more. We need a new attraction. So they created a like Frankenstein style dinosaur with like parts of like all these other. They just spliced all these freaking like dinosaur traits, like active camouflage and like all this other shit, and it's like it was just a disaster waiting to happen. And I gotta say, Jurassic World, it's kind of a stupid movie. It's kind of like a sci-fi channel movie if it had like a real good budget.
Okay.
And like they just pulled out all the stops,
And the
total unabashed popcorn flick. And I think it was an okay movie, but I don't think there's like any artistic substance to that movie.
Look at that. It's charging again. You wouldn't go above 60. Now it's at 80% all of a sudden. Might have just been...
I think it was the charger, man.
The cable that entire fucking time. Yeah, I was having issues with my iPhone. I have a 6S Plus where the battery wouldn't get charged at all. And I was scared.
Is there a headphone?
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Of course this has to happen at least once every fucking podcast.
Hey, shake your head or nod. Does your phone have a headphone jack? Yes, it does. I guess it was the 7 that got rid of that. That was like in the news last year. Yes. So I was talking about Jurassic World. I really don't have...
when you saw me leaning over there, that was me going over to listen back to the message that was just left, which, by the way, wasn't a real message. It was just dead air, and then they fucking hang up. And that was me deleting the message on our goddamn home phone, which doesn't really get any efficient use. Because it's all scammers that call.
Listen. Does your phone get caller ID on it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, dude, like, if you can tell that it's going to be bullshit, I swear to God, there should be a way that you could like just turn it off, or just pick it up and hang up. Just do something like that.
I would say like 800 service, or like it's from all these numbers from New York and Pennsylvania and like all these states where I don't fucking know anyone. So
I get some like robocalls, and it's like the phone number is like VS, like it starts with a fucking V. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I would just like pick up and hang up immediately.
Like I don't even know how they would get our phone number. I don't know how that shit even works.
I got a little conspiracy on that.
Oh, of course you do.
I think if you have a cell phone number, if your number is tied to a cell phone, I think there might be some sort of law where your phone can't just get passed around and gang raped by like telemarketers, or there's some sort of protection fee in there. But if you have a landline, I don't know. I think your ISPs might just be selling us all out or something. I don't know. It's
well,
that's the thing. Like I have one at home, and it just keeps constantly ringing. I just let it ring, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's just a waste of my time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got to move on. So yeah, Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World 2. I have a feeling it will be a lot better than fucking Independence Day Resurgence, or as with the more appropriate title being Regurgitant. Was that even what the fuck it was called?
Resurgence?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Resurgence. Didn't see that.
Yeah. Wait.
It's probably on video. I ought to check that
out. I heard it's a fucking...
I heard that movie somewhere, but I was like...
No, I'll check it out. I gotta see it.
Okay,
even if it's bad,
I heard it's one of the worst movies of last year. Okay, and next up, some good news. We have a sequel to Split, because all of a sudden, he's not M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong anymore. He is now M. Night Shyamalasant. because he all of a sudden made a great movie. His first great movie in fucking years when Split. I saw it, loved it, and now it's getting a sequel titled Glass. And okay, so Edward, do you care at all about spoilers for Split?
No. I don't care.
Okay. So it was revealed during an after credits scene that the movie Split takes place in the same universe as Unbreakable. Because you see Bruce Willis sitting at a diner at the very end. And so now now Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson and James McAvoy's character from Split are all coming back because this is now a sequel to Split and Unbreakable. So, something to look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah, have you seen Split? It was really fucking good. You would like it. I believe the budget for Split was less than $5 million, and it made $250 million at the box office. So, and Split is available now on home video. So I don't even know why we call it home video, because that's what they used to call it for VHS.
Ooh, those things were ages ago.
But anyways, yeah, Split was a really good movie. Highly recommend it. And yeah, so it's good to see a good movie getting a sequel, and all of a sudden, Shyamalan got his groove back for somehow. Okay, so Edward, are you looking forward? Are you interested in all at watching Split?
I'm checking. Wow, it says it came out in 2017.
Yeah, it came out January.
Yeah, January.
And
20th.
it's already out on video.
Yeah, it's 3 months. Yeah, it's
Wow.
about average.
Let me see. Well, it's going to release on Blu-ray for Netflix because they get it like a month late.
I
On
see.
May 16th. So
Ah,
I'm just going to
yeah,
add
that's
that.
my mom's birthday, and that's also Injustice 2.
Okay. And I think the podcast is over.
It is. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have to talk about today. So anyways, Edward, where can people follow you online? At the
Here.
Spencer Mansion?
Just here on this podcast.
Okay.
Humbly here, but don't take me for granted.
Okay, and Mo, where can people follow you on the internet?
Basically, Twitter, Muslim3, Patreon, everywhere possibly. I don't want to just... I have so many social media sites.
So pretty much just look for Muslim3 on the various websites. And of course, I am Mr. Gaming Guitarist. You're already here on my channel. So if you cared enough about my bullshit, please, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and click on the bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss out on videos from me. And of course, I've got a Patreon page which you can support. I'd appreciate that. You can, so it can help bring better content for you guys. And yeah, I'm also on Twitter and on Facebook. All those links are in the description. And we'll see you on the...
Odds are contagious.
One thing I have to say. Next week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is out, and that's when I talk to you about the schedule. If you've been if you've been watching this podcast for a while, you will know that on the weeks that big movies come out, that means the podcast will be done on Saturday, so that everyone here will have time to watch the movie before we do our big review of it. Because we like to dedicate the podcast to talking about just that movie. So, yeah, so it comes out May 5th, so that means we will do the podcast on May 6th. At least that's the plan for now. It's May 6th, we will be recording our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 review/spoiler podcast, so that will be something that we can look forward to next week. So, yep, Saturday, May 6th will be the next podcast episode. So, Edward, are you planning on seeing it?
Might try to find it on a stream site.
Okay. Mr. Gaming Guitarist does not endorse watching anything on a stream site. Please support your local movie theater. Okay, I just have to do that so my ass doesn't get sued. Anyways, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.